Hello everyone, welcome to Mathematics with Anamika. In last video, we have learned the concept of fundamental theorem of arithmetics of real numbers, class 10th concept. Today, we are going to learn about finding HCF and LCM of positive integers. That is very important concept for real numbers. It is one of that concept where in board exams, you will get one or two questions for sure. So for board perspective, it is one of the important question. Now, before going to jump to the questions, we should know the full form of HCF and LCM. HCF means highest common factor. That is, we are going to get the common factors of two or more numbers that are given in the question, and then we will find the highest factors among them. And the full form of LCM is least common multiple. Now, how this work out and how we find out HCF and LCM of given numbers, we are going to learn with an example. So question says, find HCF and LCM of 120 and 144 by prime factorization method. In previous video, I have explained you factor tree. Now in this, we are learning prime factorization method. This method you have already done in class 5, 6, 7 and so on, and applied ample of times in early classes. Today, let's revise this concept again. So first of all, let's take 120 and 144. Now I have to think a prime number that by which both the numbers 120 and 140 are divisible. Prime factorization means there should be only prime numbers. So from 120 and 145, I know that both are even numbers. So I will take 2 as a prime number. One more thing in this, divisibility rules is one of the major concepts. Do comment in comment section if you want to revise divisibility rules of from 2 to 11. So I will make a separate reel and explain the concept of divisibility rules. So both the numbers are divisible by 2. 2 multiply, how I will find? 2 multiply what gives you 120, that is 2 times 60. And 2 multiply what gives you 144, that is 72. This is one oral method. If you are not comfortable, so you can divide 120 by 2. Your quotient will be 60, remainder will be 0. Similarly, you can also divide 144 by 2. So your quotient will be 72 and remainder will be 0. So the key is that you have to divide and the remainder should be 0. Now I have 60 and 72. I have to think of a prime number that is divisible by both 60 and 72. So I know both are even numbers. So again I can go by 2. 2 multiplied by what gives you 60? That gives you 30. And 2 times that is 36 gives me 72. Now 30 and 60. You definitely have in mind that 30 and 60 both comes in the table of 6. So I can write 6 and do it. But no, that will be wrong because 6 is not a prime number. It is a composite number. It has more than 2 factors. So we have to stick and we have to remember that in file finding HCF and LCM, by using this method, the key that you have to remember is the numbers that you are picking, the digits that you are picking should be prime numbers. So again they are both divisible by 2, and I remember that both comes in the table of 3 also. That is 3 times 12 is 36. We can take that way, or we can say that divisibility, you can recall the divisibility rule of 3 and you can get the answer. So both are divisible by 3. Your wish, you can apply, you can take as 2, you can take as 3. Order does not matter. So 3 times 10 is 30, 3 times 12 is 36. Now comes 10 and 12. I know that both are divisible by 2. So that is both comes in the table of 2. 2 times 5, 2 times 6. Now when I check 5 and 6, these two numbers does not come in any common table. 5 is a prime number, so it cannot. So now you have to stop for a second and you will say my HCF will be all these numbers which are divisible by both the numbers. So that is 2 times 2 times 3 times 2. Again I said that order does not matter. So when you multiply 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 3, 12, 12 times 2 is 24. So the highest common factor of 120 and 144 is 24. Now the question also asks for LCM, that is least common multiple. So now we will continue our prime factorization. That is 5 is a prime number. I'll take this 1 times 6. Now 6 is a composite number. So I have to take 2, that is 1 times 3, and 3, that gives you 1 times 1. So my LCM will be, there are two ways of doing. One is simply multiply all the prime numbers that we have got, or what you can do is recently you have calculated HCF 24 and multiply rest of this. This is totally your choice. The presentation I am also explaining that you have to write in exams. That is one way of writing it. So when you multiply 4 times 3, 12 times 2, 24, 24 times 5 times 2, that gives you 240, and 240 times 3 gives you, if you check, that is 72. So my HCF is 24, LCM is 720. Let's take another example where we are given 3 numbers. So the rule will remain the same whether we have 2 numbers, 3 numbers or 4 numbers. So what we are going to do is we will take 12, 15 and 21. We have to think of a prime number which is divisible by all these 3 numbers. If I see, I remember the table of 3. All comes in the table of 3. So my first prime number will be 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15 and 3 times 7 is 21. If I check 4, 5 and 7, there is no prime number that comes that is common to all. So my HCF clearly is only 3. So now for LCM, I'll continue 4 that comes in the table of 2. 5 and 7 doesn't, so we'll copy down. We have 2, 1, 5 and 7. We have 5, then 1, 7 does not, so we'll copy down, 7 is 1. So my LCM will be 3 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 7. And when we calculate the LCM, the answer will be 420 is the answer. This is how we are going to find HCF and LCM of positive integers. Do like, subscribe and comment in the section box if you want other important questions. Soon we are going to do exercises also. Thank you.